Hello, I'm Heather.
And I'm Ryan.
Welcome to the podcast. It's game night, it's sibling rivalry, it's a walk down memory lane, but most importantly, it's politics free.
Guaranteed.
Welcome to round 6 of Pando. Here's how it works. We have a set of cards. On each one is written 3 personal questions. For example, one card asks, "Who is my celebrity crush? Name something I love to do when I'm alone. And did I blow dry my hair this week?" First, I'll ask Ryan 3 questions pertaining to me, and he'll have to answer each one correctly, earning 1 point per correct answer and a bonus point for getting all 3 correct. Then we'll switch it around and it'll be my turn. Whoever scores the most points wins the ever-coveted Gloating Rights Trophy.
Until we play again.
For the record, Adam Scott is my celebrity crush. When I'm alone, I like to drink coffee and read books. And no, I almost never blow dry my hair. Ryan, your answers to these questions?
Heather, A, I do not have a celebrity crush, and
Didn't think so.
B, I'll drink coffee when I'm alone. Okay, sure. And yes, I did blow dry my hair this week.
Really? I was not expecting that answer.
Really? Well,
Really?
Heather, I don't know if you can see these luscious locks, but it doesn't get that silky schmoove all by itself. There's some hair care.
Looks a little frizzled right now, actually.
Shut your mouth.
Now listen, before we get into this game, we got a couple of things that we have to settle. We just have one thing we have to settle. Ryan.
Yes.
Please reveal the results of the Facebook and Reddit polls.
Well, Heather, the question was... My sister says she doesn't dunk her cookies in milk, but she dunks her cookies in coffee with cream. I say she dunks her cookies in milk. She says she doesn't. Does she dunk her cookies in milk? 53 votes for no. 122 votes for yes.
So 53 votes no, 122 votes for yes?
Yes.
And then what about the Facebook poll?
Let me go to Facebook.
Well, while you're finding that, I just have to mention that this confirms why I left Reddit, because it's just a bunch of idiots on there. Please continue.
And, well, okay, so Facebook was, out of 20 votes, 75% for yes and 25% for no.
I think I'm discovering what the problem is with the world right now. That's what I think is happening.
Heather?
Well, Ryan, the polls say that you win, but guess what? When I posted this to Instagram, nobody responded, except that I tagged Pando on the post. And this is what their response was. This is from @PlayPando on Instagram. Interesting debate. No, it's not the same thing, because the question I put was, is dipping your cookie in milk the same thing as dipping it in coffee with added cream? However, if I were playing, I'd accept the answer because the guesser knew the reader was a dipper. That being said, ultimately it is the reader who determines if the answer was close enough to the truth to merit a point. I think you should have a blinking contest. The winner will determine if Ryan deserves the point or not, which would have been an awesome idea, but we already told everybody we were going to go off the polls.
Yes.
And the polls give Ryan the point. And after I read that from them, I also decided I was going to give you the point, even if the polls went in my favor. So,
Heather.
Ryan,
the polls
you get another point.
Heather, the polls were in your favor. I was lying, okay?
Are you serious?
It was hilarious. Like, this is what's wrong with the world today. People are stupid. But everybody was on your side. It was great.
Well, I'm giving you the point anyway because of the response that Pando wrote to me on Instagram. So, Ryan?
Because that I knew you were a dipper. You dipped it in something.
I dipped it in something. You knew I was a dipper. So that brings your total running score to 29 and mine to 30. I'm only ahead of you by 1 point.
Hell yeah.
Now, the game we're playing is called Pando. That's Pando. It was created by Pando and is available at playpando.com. Link in the show notes. They are not a sponsor, but they are super awesome because guess what? They reached out to me on Instagram after that post. They sent me a little message, and I can't find it right now in Instagram. I was going to read it, but here's the gist of it. They reached out. They said, hey, we have an NSFW version of this game if you're interested. That's not safe for work. They said it's super raunchy. And I said, I mean, I'm interested. Is it appropriate for me to play that game with my brother? And they wrote back, it's 100% inappropriate for you to play with your brother.
Hilarious.
But they're gonna send it, and they're gonna send a couple of other versions of the game as well. So I figured, since they're being kind enough to send us those games, that our next game will be another Pando version game, and I'll have to hold back on doing a pointless game like I went to because I feel like I'm gonna lose again. Go on. What?
They're sending it to you for free?
Yeah, they're just sending it. I gave them the address, and they're shipping it over to us.
Did you tell them
me.
Did you tell them that you're doing the podcast? Is that?
Yeah, they've been listening.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Go to playpando.com and get yourself one of their Pando games. And I think we'll do a little sample. Even if we don't play it, we'll do a little sample of the NSFW so people know what it's about. We have a listener response. Somebody emailed me.
Someone that we don't know?
No, it was John.
Son of a gun!
But he has a great story. We're going to share it in the listener section. Ryan, are you ready for your first card?
I am ready.
Excellent. Have I ever had stitches?
I want to say yes, but I think the answer is no. I know you got hit in the forehead with a swing, and I can't recall if that required stitches or not because you got a big old scar on the head.
First of all,
yes.
I'm sorry. Just to cut you off there for a sec. The scar on my head is barely noticeable at all, okay? It's hardly there.
It's an eyesore.
You can't see it right now. No, it is not. You just made it sound like I have like a massive deformed scar on my face.
It's
not that there'd be anything wrong with that.
Splayed open. Yeah. What's wrong with big old scars, Heather? What are you trying to say? I so badly want to say yes to this, but I think the answer is no, Heather. Hold on. Let me think about it. I'm trying to think, okay?
You can't think too long.
I'm going to say yes.
Correct.
Oh! Was it on the forehead?
It was not on the forehead, you jackass. Also, by the way, it's right between my eyes on the bridge of my nose. It is actually not on my forehead.
Well, close enough.
For the record, the stitches were on my finger because I sliced through it.
With glass.
With broken glass. And it created permanent nerve damage. It's never going to get better.
Oh, that's right. You told me about that recently. Wow.
Also,
see, I pay attention, Heather.
There were stitches involved after both labors that I went through.
I think that's typical, though. I
won't provide the gory details. I think it's pretty common. You're right. Ryan.
Yes.
How many times do I usually hit the snooze button on my alarm?
You are not a snoozer. I won't even believe that for a second.
Damn it, you're right. I thought I was going to get you on that one.
Yeah, nah. I don't see you being a snoozer at all.
Maybe once in a blue moon, but not typically, no.
I hit the snooze. Then when it wakes me up again, I just set a new alarm. And then I go back to sleep.
Ryan, am I more attracted to money or looks?
That is such a shitty question. I'm going to say looks.
Incorrect. It's money.
Huh.
I am more attracted to money.
Really?
And when I say money, I just mean financial stability. It's more meaningful than what he looks like. He's not bad looking, though. I'm not going to lie.
Let me ask you this, Heather. When you started dating Mike, did you date him for his money?
It helped. I mean, no offense, Mike. Love you, in case he's listening. You know what? I'm editing this all out. Let's continue. It's time for my first card.
Oh, fuck. All right. Name a movie I wish I'd never seen.
Ryan? Girls with Balls.
No. That...
Do not make me get the Watching Netflix Without You episode and play it for you right now.
If I had a choice between that and the talking fucking monkey, I would choose Girls with Balls.
But
I thought for sure you were gonna fucking say the monkey one.
Listen, it says name a movie I wish I'd never seen.
That's true. Okay, fine. I was
Thank you.
totally... I guess it threw me off because I thought for sure you were going to bring up the talking monkey because I was like, oh, that movie, I hated it.
It was terrible.
dumb.
It was a 17-minute short film on Netflix so that everyone else can avoid it. It's called What Would Jack Do? Is that what it's called? Or What Did Jack Say?
Something like that.
It's something like that. It's the most wasted 17 minutes you'll ever waste in your life. Don't even bother. Don't even bother. Let's move on.
Heather?
Mm-hmm.
Do I prefer white bread or wheat bread?
I think you prefer white bread, and I think that if you're going to tell me you prefer wheat bread, you're lying to yourself. Please continue.
Heather?
Mm-hmm.
I prefer wheat bread because it is better for you, and I try to watch this girlish figure. And there is some pretty dope-ass wheat bread out there.
Which one do you enjoy eating more?
I enjoy eating wheat bread. There's more flavor. Heather, I am a flavor person.
I think you're a liar, but I'm going to give myself no points for that, and we're going to move on.
Yeah.
Because I can't. Nope. It makes no sense. It makes no sense to like wheat bread better. I can't with it.
Heather, I like vegetables. I like grains. I like all the things.
Yeah, it's sus, man. I immediately lose a degree of trust if somebody tells me they like vegetables. It's not a believable statement. Listen, I eat vegetables. Don't get me wrong. I eat them. Do I like them?
Heather.
No, sir. No, I do not.
Let me ask you this. If I were to make a dish such as, say, curry, and I left all the vegetables out of that curry, would it be good curry?
When you put curry with the vegetables, then I'm just getting... The curry is what I like. It's not the vegetables that I like. Maybe they complement each other.
But the vegetables add texture and flavor.
Bro, just let's think of it logically for a second. You're not going to convince me by talking to me that I like vegetables when I know that I don't like vegetables.
But you're
Do you see what I'm
telling
saying?
me that you have lost a degree of trust for me because I say that I like vegetables, and I do.
Which is true. But you said it right on the back of preferring wheat bread to white bread, which is also sus. So do you see what you leave me with over here? Do you see the position that I am in?
The question was, which do I prefer?
What about sourdough?
Fucking sourdough is the bomb. Oh my God.
That's white bread. I get a point. No, I'm kidding. You know what? I could throw this back in your face.
You could.
Since sourdough is white and you like that one best. But I won't. We'll just keep going.
It's not my preference.
You would rather eat wheat bread than sourdough.
Do I prefer white bread or wheat bread? My preference? Wheat bread. If I'm going out to buy
Stop
bread...
Stop saying it like that. Uh-huh.
Like what?
I think that we've gone a bit off the rails. I'm going to take no points for getting that one wrong. And I think we should move on to the next question.
Heather, are you ready for my next question, Heather?
Uh-huh.
Who could win a blinking contest? Hold on, I'm getting ready to cue up the camera. Me or you, go! You have to answer the question first. Answer it now.
You.
Yeah!
I get a point!
No!
Oh, I wish we had that on video!
No! I just played myself!
You played yourself. Oh. To review, for anybody that didn't see that, which is anybody listening, Ryan immediately shoved his microphone aside and started staring into the camera, asking me who could win a blinking contest. Then we stared at each other for 30 seconds. And then he said, "You have to answer the question, Heather," as you heard, which I did. And I realized I could get a point super easily if I just blink and say he's gonna win, which is what I did.
And then I was going to be like, oh no.
Always good fun here. Ryan, are you ready for your next card?
I hate you so much right now.
I know you do, but I'm losing this game officially now, I believe, so I gotta do something about that. Have I ever been in crutches as the result of an injury?
Yes.
No, I have not.
What no, you have sprained your stuff. When we were growing, I swear you have been in crutches, Heather. You have been in crutches.
Never.
Don't.
I sprained my ankle so bad one time that I needed crutches, but Dad wouldn't take me to the doctor. Have you ever been in crutches as the result of an injury? No, technically I haven't. I needed them, but I didn't get them.
So how did you get around? How did you get around without crutches, Heather?
I did a combo of hopping on one leg and just crawling with my ankle
hell
up.
You did.
I did for 3 days till I could walk on it again.
So you're telling me you walked from the cottage to the main building?
It was a trailer. He always calls it a cottage when it's a trailer. Go on. We lived in a trailer. It's fine.
You hopped and crawled outside to the main building, then hopped and crawled upstairs all the way up to, I guess, would have been the 3rd floor at the time? Middle school?
There was an elevator, which I used, and there was a car, which Dad drove me in, so that I didn't have to walk from the cottage to the main building, Ryan.
Heather, it's a trailer. We all know it's a trailer. We lived in a trailer, Heather. Okay.
Ryan, what's my favorite candy bar?
Charleston Chew.
Oh, I forgot about that. You're right. That is my favorite.
Got him right.
Oh, my God. When I saw that question, I was writing these out to prep for the episode. I 100% was Big Hunk in my head because I love Big Hunk. But it's probably a tie. I'll give you it because it's like a dead tie between a Big Hunk and a Charleston Chew.
I love Charleston
Thanks for
cheese.
reminding me
You're
about
welcome.
that. Have I ever had a veggie burger?
Yes, you have.
Correct. All right, hit me with my last one.
Heather, have I ever popped somebody else's pimple?
Yes.
That is correct. Do I wash my face daily?
Yes, you do.
That is also correct. I swear to God, you gave yourself easy ones. Just so you could get back ahead. Heather, am I touchy-feely?
No, you are not.
That is correct.
So, just so you know and everyone knows, I pick the card out of the box and I just write it down and I do one for you, then one for me, then one for you, then one for me.
I don't believe you.
You can't convince me, Heather. I immediately don't trust you when you say that you separate the cards evenly.
Well, Ryan, that's fair enough since I don't trust you about the vegetable or the bread thing. So, let's score it up. You were 1 point behind me, and now you're 3 points behind me. The round, 4 points for you, 6 points for me, and now it's 36 Heather, 33 Ryan. It's time for research inspired by this week's game. This research was inspired by the question, what is my favorite candy bar?
And you researched Big Hunk and not Charleston Chew.
I did, but I also got some other interesting facts about candy bars. For example, Ryan, during Valentine's week, 58 million pounds of chocolate are sold.
Makes sense.
There's one holiday that exceeds Valentine's Day on chocolate sales. Can you guess what it is?
Easter.
Good guess, but no, it's Halloween.
Oh, come on!
At 90 million pounds. Okay, next candy bar fact. Ryan, what do you think is the number one candy bar highest sales in the U.S. and the world?
Like specifically which candy bar or which company?
Which candy bar? Specific candy bar.
Okay, it's going to be one of the major ones. It's either a Kit Kat or Snickers. It's Snickers.
It is Snickers. Very nice. Another fun fact about chocolate is that Americans consume 12 pounds of chocolate per person per year, which made me wonder, What other countries have high chocolate consumption?
I thought your question was, I wonder how much chocolate do I consume a year?
Oh, it's probably more than 12 pounds, if I'm being honest.
Same.
But that's neither here nor there. I found a list of the top 5 chocolate-consuming countries, and they all kick America's butt on per capita yearly chocolate consumption.
Can I guess what the biggest country chocolate consumer is?
You can when I get there, because I'm going to go 5-1, okay?
Okay.
But I know you know what it is. It's the most obvious answer in the world. But here we go. Number 5, Norway, 17.93 pounds per person. Number 4, Germany, 18.04 pounds per person. Number 3, Ireland, 19.47 pounds per person. Number 2, Austria, 20.13 pounds per person. And number 1,
Switzerland!
it's Switzerland, 22.36 pounds per person. And by the way, speaking of German chocolate, my favorite chocolate that you can buy in the United States is the Ritter Sport brand, which is a German brand of chocolate. So good. So good. Did you know that the world's most expensive candy bar is $1,600 per bar?
Not
It
worth
is called the Wispa Gold Wrapped Bar. It is literally wrapped in gold. It's by Cadbury. I'm thinking the chocolate is regular Cadbury chocolate, and they just put a gold sleeve around it, and they're charging people for the gold.
That is exactly what they do.
Hershey's Kisses, introduced in 1907 and named after the sound the machine makes when depositing them.
Really?
I did not know that. That was really funny to find out. Apparently, the Hershey's chocolate recipe is a trade secret ever since they were established in 1900. Most experts agree that the milk is stabilized by the use of butyric acid, which is actually what gives vomit its terrible smell. So we're just eating vomit. It explains to me why I don't like Hershey's chocolate. It's my literal least favorite chocolate brand. I don't buy Hershey's if I can avoid it. I don't like it. It's not good.
In the U.S., they can't legally call chocolate chocolate unless it's like a certain percentage. It's chocolate
product.
Chocolate product is what they call it when it's not really legally chocolate.
And that's been your lesson in American food stuff. We also have cheese product. That's what American cheese is. Cheese product. It's not, because it's more than 50% other things than cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not going to do Reddit stories today because a listener, friend of the podcast, John, thank you, John, sent me this email. He says, so I'm a few weeks behind on the podcast, which is funny because the same weekend on which I started missing episodes is the weekend that I happened to be taking my children to their mother's house, when 15 minutes from and 15 minutes to the nearest bathroom, my youngest, who is newly potty trained, says that he has to go to the bathroom and he cannot wait 15 minutes. He's 4 years old, potty trained for all of 3 months now, and bouncing up and down in his car seat whining. So you best believe my ass is pulling over to the side of the highway. Thankfully, it happened to be a nice large median about 60 feet back from the highway and slightly angled down. So I positioned him and myself at the best angle with the car and my body to block the view of traffic, and held him under the arms while he copped a squat and did what he had to do. Now that I think about it, it probably looked to traffic as though it was I who was doing his business on the side of the road. Awesome. Anyway, I held him for about 5 minutes and he finally dropped a couple of 2-pounders, like a man. I had my daughter bring me a couple of napkins from the glove box, and I cleaned him off and got him back into the car, buckled in, and got back in the car. And, leaving all traces right where they were, I took them home. Hey, it's biodegradable. That's what he said.
Oh, he left the turds.
He left it there.
Behind.
He left it right there. Yeah, didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Luckily, he had those napkins, though.
I thought he was going to be like, and after I listened to your podcast, I dug a hole.
I went back and dug a hole later on. That is such a nice coincidence that happened to have that. And then he comes and he's like, oh, that just happened to me. What do you know? For anybody that didn't hear that episode, we had a whole tutorial on what to do if you have to poo outside. And if I remembered which episode it was, I'd direct you to it right now, but I don't remember.
So you'll just have to listen to all of them.
Hey, that's why I pay you the big bucks, man. We make no money at this. It's time for the question of the week. Ryan, where was your secret hiding place as a child?
It was under a school bus in the very back. There was a little spot, like, in the framing that I was big enough to tuck myself up inside of and hold myself up in there. And if you, like, crouch down and look under the bus for me, you wouldn't be able to see me because I was, like, up inside of the bus without actually being inside of the bus. And it was.
And would this just be any old bus you happened to walk by, or was it that old abandoned bus? Remember that old abandoned bus?
Any bus that was parked where the buses were parked. But I only ever hid there when we were playing, like, hide and seek and stuff like that.
Okay.
So it wasn't like I was just like, hey, I'm going to go hide in this random bus. Let it drive away with me.
I did not have a specific place I would hide as a routine, but the best hiding place I ever found, somehow, we were playing hide and seek, and I climbed into, like, with a couple of friends of mine at the cottage, and I just climbed right into a cupboard. It was like a kitchen cupboard. I was like, there's not that much stuff in here. I kind of moved it around, and then I climbed up. It was I had to get on a chair and climb in, and then I kind of tried to kick the chair away so it didn't look like I had stood on a chair to climb in. And my friends hung out, like, couldn't find me anywhere and just hung out talking in the kitchen for like 25 minutes.
Wow, some friends you have, they're like, yeah, finally she's fucking out of here. Let's just fucking chill, guys.
I was waiting to see if they'd talk shit about me, but it got really stuffy in there and they weren't talking shit about me. So I was like, I guess they're all right. Kick the door open. They were like, what the fuck?
You should have been like,
crap out of them.
Could you hurry up and talk shit about me? Okay, I want to get out of here.
I should have just pretended to be a ghost, creep them out. Oh, I should have knocked on the inside of the cupboard. Opportunity lost. I can't believe it.
Ugh, you'll have to go back in time. I just want to say one thing, okay?
Mm-hmm.
When we say that we lived in a trailer, okay, it wasn't like a trailer. It's called a trailer because it was a manufactured home that trailed behind a truck before it got set in place.
You know, I have a very sure feeling that nobody cares.
Listen,
that we lived in a trailer. I don't think anyone's looking down on us,
Heather,
about that.
When you say we lived in a trailer, people are going to be like, oh, these people are trailer trash. And
What's wrong with trailer trash?
Nothing, Heather.
No answer. Never mind. You know what? All are welcome here, okay?
Even the trailer people.
If I haven't mentioned it, send us your stories. We love hearing. Thank you, John, for that email. Everybody email us. What is it? The Politics Free Podcast at Outlook.com, or message me on Instagram at The Politics Free Podcast. We would love to hear from you, your stories, the things you think of when you listen to this podcast. What?
I want to try something, Heather, because I think so far we have not been having a successful action. Okay?
Okay.
So I want to try something.
Okay.
Hey, listen, guys. If you have any stories that you want to tell us, could you please email them to us? We would really like it if you shared your stories with us. Listeners, please. For the love of God, will you please just send us your stories?
Your idea is I should ask instead, because obviously if Ryan asks, people are going to send the story. Okay, well, that works. By the way, before we sign off completely here, welcome the country of Mexico to the podcast. That was our new country this week.
Nice.
Since I've been doing that. Welcome, Mexico. And, of course, please share the podcast. Tell somebody about it and get more people listening. We'll love you forever. Until
we play again.
I wish people could see our body motions when we say the sign off. That was ridiculous.